Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever you are in the world today, I hope that you are doing great. Hope that all is pleasant with you. And most importantly, my friends, I hope that you are in good health. Once again, welcome to the Common Sense channel. On this channel, my friends, we get to talk about those things that people know, that people have thought about, but don't often have the time to discuss. These, my friends, are the things we discuss here on the Common Sense channel. So, once again, welcome to the Common Sense channel. Today, I want to talk to you about the P word. The P word is patriotism. Patriotism is the P word today for our discussion, for today's discussion. What is patriotism? Patriotism is the love and devotion that a person has for their country, and the love and devotion that a person or people has for his or her country or their country are based or is based primarily, my friends, on certain values, ethics. And those values, ethics, are based on the history of that country, the culture of that country. So every country has certain values and principles. For example, justice, equality, freedom of speech, freedom to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the right to own and bear arms. As in the case of the United States, this country, the right to assemble, the right to free press, justice for all. These are values and principles that a patriot or a citizen who is a patriotic individuals devote their entire life to protect and value. So in my view, that's what patriotism represents. Now, patriotism can come in different forms. There are individuals in a country, state, that would pay or would devote their lives to the ultimate price or the ultimate sacrifice, which is to lay down their life for the country, the values and principles and ethics and morality of that country. That's the ultimate price. But it doesn't mean if an individual can do that, that same individual cannot stand up and speak up against the very foundation that they have devoted their life or that they have sacrificed their life for. My friends, that is another level of patriotism. That's the reason why you see a veteran who have served this country in the affairs of giving their life or paying the ultimate sacrifice, or any country, we speak up against injustice, against another people, another race, another culture, that they notice that their government is engaging in. I've seen that many times. There are many individuals in history that have seen injustice done somewhere, not just in this country, but outside of this country. For instance, John Kerry, and there are numerous veterans that have served in various wars across the globe that have come out to speak out. Patriotism does not just mean individuals who serve this country or who decide to give their lives for this country or for any country in the world. Patriotism also refers to individuals who are working in a factory, who are serving in the grocery stores across this nation, who are cleaning the streets, who are the construction workers that are building the buildings that house the government of this country, who cleans all of these buildings, who make sure the engine of this country continue to run. These, my friends, are also patriotic citizens. But the only thing is it comes in a different form. So patriotism is not only relegated, that's the point I'm trying to make, to people who sacrifice their life for this country in the form of a veteran or a military person, like someone joining the military. Is everyone in a state or everyone in a country. Whatever role you're playing to make the country great and better, you, my friend, is a patriot. It could be sports. It could be a musician out there promoting the image of a country and the values and culture of a country, like hip hop can be, for example. A rapper can be a patriot. You understand? So patriotism it's not only relegated to just someone taking arms for a country to defend the country. It's relegated to every citizens of the country to defend that country at all costs, including their lives. In this country, that's not new. I'm a lover of history. So if we're going to look at historical context to understand what patriotism looks like, there's just countless numbers of example of individuals that have stood up when the country needed them and fought hard. Their names are all over the place. So patriotism is not just relegated to someone fighting a battle in the name of a country. It's also in the faces, the hearts and minds of all citizens of a country that love and devote their life and everything that promotes values, principles, morality, ethics of a specific country. I wanted to do this video, and the reason why I'm doing this video is because I've been watching social media and I've seen people are divided. It's almost as if the Iran war is dividing the country on the issue or the question of who is patriotic and who isn't. And I don't think that Being patriotic means that you've lost your mind when it comes to the issue of injustice, or when it comes to the issue of speaking up towards things that are not right, especially if the government of your country is not doing the right thing. I think those people that speak up, speak out, stand up for injustice or for wrongdoing by the government are more patriotic, I can say, at the same level of those who are paying the ultimate price with their lives. They're at the same level. Whistleblower are patriot too. They're patriotic. Why is that? Because they see something and they think it goes, that thing that they notice or discover or see or saw goes against the values, the principles, and morals of their country. That's the definition of a patriot. And that individual who is a whistleblower knows that no one is superior or above the country. All of these people that are out there making the case, calling names, they're people that spend their entire time on social media insulting other people just for speaking their mind, just for saying things that they feel is wrong. But if you can go back into history and you see during the American Revolutionary War, when England was fighting America, I mean, we're talking about a bloody war between the colony, which would be the United States, and the colonizer, which would be England. There were people in England, British citizens, that were not happy about what was happening on this side of the globe. And they spoke up. They did not shut up. This has always been the trend across all human civilization, whether here in America, in Europe, in Australia, in South America, in Southeast Asia, in Asia, wherever, East Asia, North Asia, West Asia, wherever the individuals were. It's a human condition. It's a basic human instinct to be loyal to country and not to individuals. Why is that? Why should you be loyal to your country and not individuals or not political parties or affiliations of political families, but country? It's because, my friends, when all is said and done, all of these individual human beings that are living on the planet today, they all will pass on. All of us are going to pass on someday. Could be today, could be tomorrow, could be the day after, could be the week after, the month after, the year after. But guess what? The country will stay and continue to live beyond the individuals. And all those people that stood up and speak up against injustice or against things that they saw the government doing that they thought was wrong and spoke against it, those individuals are going to live long. They're going to live beyond into eternity. Because guess what? History only remembers those people that stood up and spoke when things were not convenient for them. History only remembers those people that were willing to sacrifice their livelihood, their lives, to make sure that the country principles and values are held at a higher standard. That's why I come here and do my channel. That's why I do these videos. Because the values and principles that I was taught in school in this country cannot be changed overnight. These values and principles were not overnight principles. There are countless numbers of ancestors that came and perfected these values and principles in a way that we, this generation, can never forget their names and their sacrifices to get us to where we are. So we are the offshoot of what they have left for us to do. I'm talking to each and every one of us. Speaking up against or saying something against like the current administration right now or any administration doesn't mean you're not patriotic. That's the point I'm trying to make. So if you're out there, you see what's happening, your voice, it don't matter your social economic status, it don't matter your name, it don't matter your ethnicity, your race, your color, your belief. None of these things matters when it comes to speaking up against injustice done to you or to your neighbors or to people you know or people you don't know, people you like or you don't like. It's the right thing to do. And thank God, thanks to the Almighty, that we live in a country that allows you to do that. Because all these people, this administration is gonna pass away. It's gonna pass on. 4 years is gonna come. It's gonna be out. Another administration is gonna come on. So whatever you do now, it's gonna live on. Like I often say, I don't care how terrible a society is, where everyone is just aligning on one side, whether that side is leading to destruction, that whole society is moving towards aligning with that administration or that organization or that agency or that society or that culture. If everyone is aligning with it, there is always going to be few people that would stand up and say, as for me and my house, we will choose to do the right thing. Stand up for the weak. You understand? And let me tell you, history will remember those people that use their voice. Let me tell you, there is no God. I don't normally say God, but there's no spirit anywhere in the world, right? That would come from anywhere to speak against injustice or anything that is done on this earth. This earth, or this planet that we live on, everything that you see here is run by human beings. We are the architect. We are the steward. We are the guidance for the life, the justice, the law, the equality, the principles, the values that we want, that we cherish, that we devote our lives to. We are the ones that will protect them. There's no God coming from nowhere to protect them for us. There's no God, or whatever they want to call it, coming from anywhere to make laws for us to protect these values and principles that we cherish and honor. You understand? So if you don't use your voice to speak up the same voice that you use, the energy to defend and protect your country, it's the same energy and voice you use to make it better. So when you speak out against injustice, as Martin Luther King would say, injustice in one place is injustice everywhere. So you may say here, you say the situation in the so-called Middle East, like places like Iran, Israel, Gaza, Lebanon, what's the place where the Houthis are, Yemeni, you say, or in Ukraine or Russia or anywhere in this world, you sit in this country and say, oh, well, it's none of my business. I'm not the one having bombs drops on me. So that's their business. I mean, it's convenient to say that, but it doesn't mean that what's happening over there is not affecting you one way or the other. It is, but you just don't know. So that's the reason why I know a couple of people, that are even afraid to even say. And for me, it's not surprising, because I've always argued that America is not a democracy. And I'm not going to stop arguing that. I've been arguing this thing since I was in high school. Yeah. I mean, I saw it early on. We're talking about like 20-some years ago. I saw it. Yeah. But like whenever I talk about it, people kind of shut me down. They shut me down because they say, oh man, you are not born here. You are not American. You shouldn't be talking. I mean, those, they're ignorant people out there. There's always going to be ignorant people. And these people, they are also even though they're ignorant because their eyes have not come open yet, ignorant is not an insult. It's not. It just means you don't know. Ignorant people are the best people to teach. You understand? Ignorant people are the best people to teach, because you have a chance of getting them to understand your views. Then say someone who have their minds already locked in. Someone with a locked in minds, there's nothing you can do. They all believe whatever they believe in. And I'm talking about organized religious people. Organized religious people, don't even waste your time trying to get them out of their ignorance. Don't waste your time. If you notice them, just by, like Jesus says, Yeshua HaMashiach, he says, by the fruit we shall know them. You understand? Like you see now, especially now, you see people like politicians, they be doubting Jesus' name all over the place. They use it so casual that you can almost tell that they're fake. at the way they use it. I've done numerous videos where I talk about, I think I did this one video where I talk about Jesus is the name of Jesus. I don't say Jesus, but let's say for the sake of my video, the name of Jesus is the most profitable name on the planet. Everyone is using it to their benefit, including politicians and warmongers too. You understand? But Jesus was never the person that that they're using just casually. So yeah, it's always good as a patriotic citizen, patriots, to use your voice and your energy to speak up against anything you see that does not align or that does not represent the values, principles, and morality that your country shares or value. Doing so doesn't mean you're not patriotic, because patriotism come in different forms. Like I said, a musician can be patriotic, a baseball player, a basketball player, you know, or someone that uses their talent to bless their country. That's a patriot. An artist, someone that draws picture, design buildings, can be a patriot. You know, so it don't mean because they have that ability to bless their country that when they see something wrong, that they shouldn't speak up against it. And to see people in our world today, especially on social media, they come on there and they try to down you. They forget that there are these Bill of Rights that's embedded in green in the Constitution with the blood of patriots. You understand? There are people that die for these rights, for you to have them. No one individual have that kind of power to take away these rights from you. You understand? For you to go in and just, okay, you know what, I'm part of this country too. And what I'm seeing right now, it doesn't represent the nature, values of this country. You know, that's for people who didn't know what it was. For me, America is like a project. America has been a project since the inception of this country. If you know what a project is, and it just been working day after day, trying to fix it, you know, it's not a perfect country, but it has a great potential to be. You know, you just need great leaders, good leaders. And like all of them, they come to you patriotic too, which every citizens of a country is patriotic one way or the other. Even those that may say something terrible about the country, but if push come to shove, all of that will change. We saw in Iran when they went to the street, they were burning down stuff, violence all over the place. I mean, it's not just Iran. You see that everywhere in the world. People have that right to do that too. To send a message to the government and say, we're not too happy with the way you're running things. You know, is if you hire someone to do a job, which is what all of these politicians are, including the president of this country, was hired. He's like a CEO, except he's running a country, you know. President Trump is a CEO of America. Any president across the globe is a CEO. But a country is different from a business or a corporation, or an agency or organization, right? It's a big fish. But let's say it's a CEO. Imagine if you're the board of trustees, you hire a CEO to run your company, and the CEO that you hire is not doing or following your guidelines and the principles, the values that you've put forth for that CEO to follow. Don't you have the right to say something to him or even fire him from the job? So if one or two person on that board of trustees or on the board says, I'm not too okay with this CEO and how he's running our company or business, do you think it's okay or wrong for the other members to talk down on those two board of trustees? It's the same thing that's happening in this country today, and I think it's wrong. Let's talk about Hitler. Even in Nazi Germany, even in Hitler's inner circle, because that's the boogeyman, they talk of him all the time, without even studying the history of the man. Spend some time studying the man. They don't allow you to. As if it's wrong to study a person. You can study George Washington. You can study Joseph Stalin. You can talk about them. You can talk about all the evils of this world. But when you mention Hitler, it's like you just call the devil himself. I don't believe devil exists. I believe there's a spirit, an almighty, but I don't believe there's a God. But I do believe that we are God. Humans are God, but we're not almighty. But you can talk about that man. But even in his inner circles, there were people that didn't agree with him. History has, for educational purpose, history has recorded that there are numerous attempts to assassinate Hitler in his own inner circle. Because there are people in there that saw what he was doing. And they didn't agree with him. They were vocal. Some of them were even hung. True. It's always going to have individuals like that. It's this higher level of ethics, morality, that wouldn't cave. And thank to the Almighty for quickening the hearts of these individuals. They stand on principles. They are Jesus consciousness. That's the simple way to put it. Jesus consciousness. You understand? Standing up for what is right, even at the detriment of their own lives. Not many of them are in this world. So even when you see things like that, these individuals, let me tell you, history never forgot these individuals. They talk of them even today. Paul Revere. A lot of people are historians. You know who Paul Revere is. Paul Revere was a British subject and American. But guess what? When it came time to choose where he was, he chose America. He told the Continental Army, the British Army, had he not done what he did, the course of history, especially the American history, would have been different. You understand? So when someone whistleblows and says something whether in the government or in an agency or an organization, that don't mean they're not patriotic. This whole Iran thing, the only thing I see here is they're dividing the country over this stuff. Who is patriotic and who is not patriotic. But the American people has always proven right. If you love history, you see the American people has always proven right. Their instinct is great. You understand? It was the American people that brought about the end of Vietnam, the war against Vietnam. You know, most of the wars, except if they don't know. But if the American people know, and I think it's going to be too tough for any government coming after Trump, any administration, coming after Trump, it's going to be hard for you to hide anything like before. Social media that's one thing, again, George Bush, in my view, is the greatest president of all time. Because what George Bush did is what we are seeing today. If it wasn't for 9/11 and all of the things that happened after 9/11, we won't be where we are today. It's true. So when I look at George Bush, I say that for a reason. Nothing can be hidden again. Yes, everyone has a mic to speak, to say what they feel and how they feel. You know, and I think patriotism must always win. Each of us has it in us. We just don't know. You know, that's why an ordinary neighbor can get up one morning and say, I'm tired of seeing my street looking dirty. You know, I'm tired of seeing bloodshed, killing in my neighborhood. I want to do something so that lives are safe. That's the reason why someone can get up one morning and say, we need to end homelessness. There's too many people homeless in our communities. We need to end prostitution. We need to end overdosage of illicit drugs. These individual patriots, my friend, it comes in different forms. You're just looking at, and if they try at the macro level and nothing happens, they can't be louder. And until the government hears them, it don't mean they don't love their country. It just means they want you to hear their views and their opinions about how they feel about the way things are being run. My friends and viewers, that is the definition of patriotism. Let no one scare you. Let no one talk down on you. Let no one feel that because you're expressing your viewpoint or some people say point of view, but viewpoint makes sense, that you are not patriotic. Don't let no one tell you or make you feel like because you are saying things against the government or saying things about what the government is doing. You know, I come on here, I say things like I say my views straight to the point. This is how I see things. I'm anti-war. I'm for America first. I'm for humanity. Yes. And I don't hide it. I said this is how I feel. I've always been that way. You know? So One of the things that make people act real quick when they don't have no outlet and they feel hopeless that no one is listening to them, then they'll act in a way that bring about change. And that's why every now and then that I come on my channel, as long as I don't forget, I will always advocate for a third party. I'll advocate for progressivism, aka leftism. And again, as I've said before, and we say now, there's nothing wrong with being a leftist. You hear it? Absolutely nothing wrong with being a leftist. There are more patriotic citizens in this country that are leftist. It comes in all shades of colors. It comes in all viewpoints or nationalities or ethnicities or color or belief systems. They're leftist. So anyone out there who try to demonize a leftist, a progressive, we're not going to take that narrative. Because leftism is not bad. These are good individuals. These are patriots. All they want is change. And that's all they want. So the old ways will never be the same. You don't have to like it, but you will adjust to it. That's how it always been. Those people who want to stay in the past, they're more than welcome to stay in the past. We live in a free world. In the free world, I say free world because all human beings are born free, except when people try to control the things you do, the way you think, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you run your family, the food you eat, the clothes you wear, the entire aspect of your life. But all it takes is for you to wake up one morning and discover that there are these hidden enemies whose sole purpose and intention is to control you, put you in a box, or keep you in a matrix so you're not able to see the reality that you're faced with. Our reality is not the same reality of those who are trying to control you, who are trying to control all of those aspects that I just listed. So you must never allow their reality to be your reality. Your reality must always be your reality, and you, my friend, must always propagate, promote your reality. Don't ever allow anyone with an agenda to steer you in the direction they want you to be at or they want you to go. Because we've seen in history where a group of people follow in the direction of a charismatic leader and it all ended in doomsday, or they all ended up off the cliff. In psychology, it's called groupthink. That's the reason why I think. And I don't believe in one-party system. Our world must never be set up that way in one-party system because not every one of us think the same. Like I've often said, diversity has nothing to do with the color of your skin. Nothing. See, I wasn't told that. because I'm a thinker. I wasn't told that. I mean, I went to school, high school, college, and stuff like that. I was never told that stuff. I was told that your diversity is your color, your race, your ethnicity. No, it's not. It's the way you think. Your color has nothing to do with your diversity. I mean, you're always going to know that you're this color. If a guy who is a white guy and his wife is white, and then the baby comes out black, what do you think the guy is going to think? He's going to be like, hey, you were cheating on me. You understand? But if a guy is black and his wife is black and the baby comes out black, they already know. He'd be like, oh, yeah, maybe, yeah, you know? Even if he has a doubt, his doubt level is not going to be like 100%. It's the same thing. Two black people, two a black guy and a white and a black woman, and then they have a baby and the baby turns out to be white or pink. It's gonna be question there. So that's something that's obvious. Color is obvious. But our true diversity, my friends, it's the way we think. Because I may be a black man, I think like a white man. You understand? I'm black, but I think like a white man. And there's a white man that think like a black man. But we don't even know it because we're caught up in the color thing, in coloration, in colorism. So we don't see that our biggest diversity is the way we think. And that's why a lot of these black people, especially black people, they get caught up when a politician presents themselves. They be looking at color. They don't look at the way the person thinks. And that's why even in Africa, you see the same thing in Africa too. They be putting these jokers into office just based on the color. Instead of looking at how they think, they're never going to teach you this stuff in school. You know? But your diversity is the way you think. And employers hire people based on that too. They don't hire you based on the color. Some people do. Some employers do. But an employer that wants to be productive and great in what they do, hire people that think like-minded or diverse. That way, when you short on ideas, somebody might know it, the solution. So until black people stop looking at color or all race of humanity, not just black people, that would be all race of humanity, white people, Asian people. Stop looking. I don't think Asian people look at their color because they know they're Asian. So they just look at the way they think. So until you start looking at people like that, you're going to be picking the wrong people to rule you or to represent you. Because people don't often think the same. So if you want someone to represent your community and they're black or white, they must think exactly how you think. They must know the issues and values of your community. They must know the problem that your community is faced with. They must be part of that problem in order for you to have solution. But if you just select them or appoint them based on the color, it might deceive you. So I hope for a day when we can get rid of colorism. I mean, it's always going to be there. It's obvious. But we shouldn't be basing who we appoint or who we elect based on the color of their skin. It should be based on how they think. If their thinking represents your values, if their thinking represent the issues that you have, yeah, give them a chance. So they can be a dead poor person, they can be living in a hood, they can be anywhere. They don't have to be famous. They don't have to have a rich family name. Yeah, they can be someone that shares the same value. Think exactly on the issues that you care about and are willing to focus and work on those issues. They must be part of that problem and working to find solution and thinking exactly the way you want or the way you were thinking for you to appoint them. Don't just have someone toss someone to you and say, hey, this is your leader. No, it has to be part of the problem to find a solution. Understand? So I don't do the color thing. I come here and talk about my ancestors because I respect them. Maybe someday I might be with them too. You know? So you gotta respect the dead. Those people who want to live, you must respect the dead. Yeah. So patriotism comes in many different forms. So if you're out there, you need to understand that it just doesn't mean because you join the military to fight for your country that means you're patriotic. Even the guy that working in the government building, the BMV or those local government office is also a patriot because he's doing the guy that work at the airport, the TSA, the guy that controlled the traffic at the airport. Is also a patriot. You're not going to allow anything that's going to destroy this country to come in. You're not going to allow that. If he sees something wrong, he's going to speak out. It's patriotism right there. You understand? So each of us have it in us. Don't matter where you're from. If you're an immigrant, every immigrant in this country has to go through something they call oath ceremony. Oath ceremony. And that's when you raise your arms, your hands up, and says, I swear an allegiance. You know what that means? You swear an allegiance to defend and protect the country against foreign and domestic enemies. You understand? People become domestic enemy if they are making noise and no one is listening to them. What is the role of the government? To listen to the people. If you're true government, you know if you care about the people of your country, this will be globally now. They put you there. You'll be like, oh, they put me there, so let me listen to their plight. You understand? So people don't just do. The same patriotic people would turn against the government. And that's what I say. What was his name? Was it Thomas Jefferson? Or no, Alexander Hamilton talks about, said the government that any government that tried to become oppressive, he wasn't even talking about then, he was talking about the future, that become oppressive towards the people have the right to go against it. You understand? That was Alexander Hamilton. And he was oh my God, he was a brain. Yes, in that whole Bill of Rights, Constitution stuff. Brilliant. You understand? This is the man that said, don't tread on me. You know, there's just people out there that care about this country. They may not say it to you, but they do. And they wouldn't want anyone oppressive. I saw this veteran, a man that served this country, put his life on the line for this country, day and night. I used to work with homeless veterans. I done my own part. Yeah, these are incredible people, and it used to baffle me too. Why are they homeless? They never would beg you for anything. They wouldn't even ask for a dime. They were so proud in themselves. Whatever the condition, they served their country. And I say, if you serve this country, why should you be homeless? But they'll tell you, I love my country. And to see one speaking up, and for someone to look at him and say, you're not patriotic, no, you don't understand what patriotism means. Yes. And that's why I'm doing this video. We can't be divided on one individual, on one administration. No. Trump administration is going to come and go, or one political party. That's why the two political party system is terrible. have a competition. So if you're progressive out there, aka leftist, please run. Don't allow these people narrative stop you because they've demonized you for 10, 30, 40 years. That you're of no good, that you're going to wreck this country. Usually it's the old people too. Not all old people, but the old rich ones. They think you're a little kid. But they don't remember that they too were in the same age group as you. One time, once upon a time. And they were making noise until they gave them power. And ever since, they've been drunk on power. And now they don't want to relinquish power to you. But no matter what they do, someday, maybe sooner, you might be in there too. You don't forget to be patriotic. You got to hold those values, those principles that are dear to your respective countries. Hold them. Even if it costs your life, hold them. Because those values are what's going to last into eternity. And no one can take that away from you. I just want to say thanks. I noticed I got, I think, 2 more new subscribers. I want to welcome you, my friends, to the Common Sense channel. You know, as I've always said when I welcome my new subscribers, on this channel, my friends, we get to talk about those things that people know, that people have thought about, but don't often have the time to discuss. These, my new subscribers, are the things we discuss here on the Common Sense channel. So once again, with all respect, welcome to the Common Sense channel. I hope you like what I do here. You know, and that's why I always say my introductory speech before I start my video, because I want you to know that that's what I do. So again, I want to thank everyone that watches my video. Even those that disagree with me, I want to thank you for stopping by. I want to thank all those people that have consistently remained subscribed to my channel. Even though you're not engaging on my channel, but I still appreciate you. If I say something you disagree, I have like some subscriber on my channel. If I say something they're not too okay with, they'll say something, and I always respond. I don't like shy away from that, because just like how I say what I say on my channel, I respond to you. Yeah, I believe that you're entitled to your opinion. I believe that all my heart, and I will respond to you. I won't be rude. I won't be condescending. Nothing like that. And I expect you to do the same. But yeah, we have to be, all of us are patriotic in our own way. And we have to speak up when we see things that are not right. Because at the end of the day, it's going to affect us one way or the other. Yeah, whether we like it or not, it's going to affect you. Maybe directly or indirectly. So you have to speak up and say what you think. There's nothing wrong with it. It's your opinion. People out there may not like it, so be it. You don't have to, not everyone have to like what you say for you to say it. But say it with fervent. Say it as if you mean it. Don't be a coward. History do not remember cowards. All the cowards in history are in the dustbin. Only those people that stood up and spoke up against what they saw was wrong or injustice are remembered by historians and history itself. I love history because it's constantly reminding us of the now and of the future. But I think the future is the now. You just need to pay attention. and get out of that matrix. And you see that now is the future. Have a pleasant day, and I hope that you and your family are in good health. Thank you. Thank you.